never really had no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Right now, I got you. Right now. Nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew up right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out. Valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now. Yeah, I'm too up. Brown, blue up. Compton.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Off play action. Cannon. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Here we go now. Move,
on 3rd down, Cannon. He's got Evans. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Cannon. He finds Malcolm Mitchell here. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here we go now. Move, Landon.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the 1st down yardage. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the others, you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive. Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us. But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Green 39.
It's Mixon on the counter, and he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Back to Mixon on first down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cannon. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Cannon. And it's caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Mike Evans, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Gone!
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Going right side here, and that's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Throwing, Mayfield. Being chased out left. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
Brandon, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Play fake. Mayfield. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at third. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. Mayfield now from the 50. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now let's go. Boo, Landy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun on 3rd down. Cannon. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And out across midfield down to the 45. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. On 1st and 10, Cannon. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Here's a give to Mixon. And an alley to run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing on 1st down. Cannon. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Cannon. His throw caught. What about the 5? And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Eifert with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And now it's blocked. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws. They become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a... Now at Mayfield. That's Njoku over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And they'll run it here. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Detroit!
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Now he's looking just to add to his totals. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. On first down, Cannon. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got it 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking to throw. Cannon to Mixon on the check down. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
All right, here we go.
He'll get it up the middle, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Back to throw. Cannon, and it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
To throw on 2nd down. Cannon. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
From the gun on 3rd down. Cannon, the quick slant caught. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick here is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time for Antonio Callaway and his crew on offense to take over. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. The Browns' passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, Cannon. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw here is incomplete.
But one thing that I like defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. To throw on 3rd down. Cannon. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. This quarterback now 4 of 6 since taking over, and he's got a first down. Operating from the gun. Cannon. And he whips that one incomplete there. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with the linebacker.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Carl Lawson able to drop him for a loss of 4. Throwing on 3rd and long. Cannon. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now. It's 16-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Holding, offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Here we go now.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Looking to throw. Cannon. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
Screenplay, Johnson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. From the gun, Cannon. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Browns can grab the lead if they hit the extra point.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that will put them on top here in the third. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there and a Bengal first.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Over the middle, complete. That's Carroll. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
they? When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cannon. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15.
Now let's go.
Operating from the gun. Cannon. And he comes back with one complete. This will not go down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals are in for 6. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set, and racing going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Time for Antonio Callaway and his crew on offense to take over. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, third quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us. A gain of 3, second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
To throw on second down, Cannon. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Freeman. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Johnson running right. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right. He struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Cannon dumping it off for Johnson. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They go back to the ground with Johnson, and he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. throwing on first down. Cannon. This will be caught just inside the 10. And Freeman lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting?
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he'll bring it back to about the 5 yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Back to throw. Cannon forced out to his left. Touchdown, Cleveland. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
Throwing the out route and complete. That's Evans. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Cannon. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Back to the air on second down. Cannon, wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Mixon with a first down carry. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Got to kick it, right? I mean, even the short yardage, you boot this thing, don't you?
Yeah, but I know how aggressive you are. I know what you want. You want to go for it, don't you? You're feeling it, aren't you?
Yeah, but treat it like a football game, not like Madden.
I like that. Fight the temptation, kick the field goal, because if you go for it and don't get it, you put a lot on your defense in a short amount of time.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And the Browns getting set to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And a nice gain at 21 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Looking to throw. Cannon. And this is incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Line of scrimmage again to 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cannon. That's complete over the middle to Callaway. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now it's Breida. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Detroit!
To throw on 2nd down. Cannon. And his throw is incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
On 3rd down, Cannon. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. That's not exactly what you want there, especially given the time on the clock. But now, you've got to kick the field goal, right? You
do, and actually, you show a little faith in your defense when you do that, because you kick the field goal here, you're telling them, we believe you'll get the ball back for us for one more shot.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good, and that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. Now, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game, because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up? Or they're going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. You think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player who's having that type of a day, because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. The bottom line for him, he's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, you know, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns. But all the runners that I know would say, I'll take 150 and 3 touchdowns. They're greedy that way.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Back to throw. Cannon. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
On 1st down, Cannon. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Operating from the gun. Cannon. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. And this is going to be caught. He got it. It's a touchdown, and forget overtime. Barring a miracle, they're going to win this thing in regulation. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Fielded about a yard deep. Ooh, with a juke. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted.